Hey, once again, I'm just gonna post this video on our page. As you guys know, I've been talking about different issues that I just did a video about what's going on in the United States about this uh, between the police and African community in different cities in United States. But the one thing that I want to talk about is about women. That I think it is historic. That it was historic. Last elections that Hillary didn't win, but he became the first woman to become as candidate in a national ticket in a political dispute in the United States. But today, I think they have a big chance that the woman can become as a vice president with Joe Biden. And I don't know how it's gonna turn out because you never know what's with these problems that is going on in the United States. Both parties they trying to gain power or gain voters with this issue. One side with supremacists with Second Amendment and First Amendment, and other side with the protester with their right to protest and the right to regulate their Second Amendment. So it is really concerning me. But I'm talking about this woman because whatever happens in the United States, it has an impact in our village, in our country, especially in America's countries, in Central America, Mexico, South America. As you guys know, it's a lot of corruption is going on there that I haven't talked about it. I talked about it in my first book, but probably next time I will talk about it. But the woman, if she becomes a vice president, I know this is 100% that she will be the first female of color to become president in United States, 2024. But the thing is that I say that has an impact in our community, especially in the culture. Because as you guys see, I mean, during 80s, 70s, women, they used to use skirt. They didn't use pants or they didn't use shorts. But they start using shorts, they start using pants, they start using suits, especially the women who's becoming elected in the Congress or mayor or governor. And what they did in during uh, almost 100 years ago, the voting rights that as you guys know, women they didn't have a right to vote in the United States, but then they organized themselves during the centuries 1820, and then the Ninth Amendment, and which is in Constitution in 1920, which is become as a right of all the citizens to vote in the United States. And now we seeing it. The woman in the national ticket disputing the vice president these elections. But in culturally, so many Mayas, Incas, Native Americans in our village, Central America, South America, Mexico, they see this change inspires the young women in our village. But the thing is concerning me is the culture, because so many young Mayas, Incas, Native Americans that they don't use pants. They use something on their on her hairs to tidy up their hair. But soon as they see these televisions and these social medias that the women they can use pants, they can paint their hair, they can use makeup, they can become president, can become vice president. So inspires the young bilingual generations in our community. But it comes with change with the global culture that women in the United States they use pants, they not using the type of clothing that we are our women's uses in our community. It has a price too. I think it's cheaper to use a pants or use a skirt uh, uh, with in United States in our village. I mean those Mayans women's skirts and all the accessories they use is really expensive. So I think that's why I've been thinking about if Kamala Harris becomes president or vice president, is gonna have a real impact of change around the globe, especially in our village with young Mayas women. But I hope the change comes with positive to protect our culture, not imposing those Occidental way of life. So that's why my concern about this presidential elections with her vice president. But I'm happy about it that finally, like I said, the women fight to have the right to vote, I think is having a prize at this election. So thank you guys share this video, and that's why I just wrote a book about this generation, that they in our communities and our village they speak our Maya language and Spanish. As me, I started learning Spanish and English during my 15 and 17 years old. So in United States, same thing. There's so many young generation in different states that they speak two languages. The language where their fathers came from, and the United States language, which is the Anglo language, which as I describe it in my first book. So that's why I decided to write a book which is focused on the change I just talked to you about it, economically, politically, socially, the global culture, the global economy. So that's why I write the book in four languages, which is Maya, Spanish, English, and the general Maya's language. So that's why I hope, and I'm working on my second book too, which will become in the same thing too, which is focused on this generation, this bilingual generation. Same thing too. My concern is that as this pandemic is striking back and making our community with less right to survive, with this systemic, economic, and political system that is taking place in United States, but has an impact in Central and South America. So that's why I hope one day you can learn more about our story, because if I say our story, because you are part of this journey. You are part of this country. You are part of this continent. You are part of this system. You are part of this change that will happen to the next centuries. So share this video, guys, and thank you, guys. But my vote goes to the female candidates, and I know will bring change. And I hope our women in our villages, they can conserve their culture and not wearing pants and not start the way of life like the woman has in the Occidental countries. And I hope our country survives this global economic and this global culture and this global political system. And it is a threat against our existence as Native American, as a real American. Thank you, guys, and share this video.